It's your boy Crypto Millie back with another one. So it looks like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even altcoins want to close out this week extremely strong. On the cusp of some breaking news here. So the US and China to resume tariff negotiations on Sunday. So this could be another catalyst that could push us into even more momentum, specifically for altcoins. You can see we're not yet in altcoin season. So for anybody that's, wondering, well, Millie, if we do go into altcoin season or we do go into this relief rally, did I miss the dip, right? Did I miss the bottom? I think you do have time. You do have 1 to 2 weeks pending, right? Pending if we see a very strong relief rally from altcoins, right? We haven't really seen that Bitcoin on rotation into ETH, but it is strengthening. Taking a look at ETH, you can see that we clearly broke out of our rectangular box here, which had served as sort of a magnet, right? A lot of resistance there. Now headed into our moving averages, which is the 50-day and the 21-day even EMA. And if we can reclaim these moving averages, this is going to be extremely bullish for ETH. I wouldn't pay attention to the volume specifically on this day as far as the weekend, but looking at the weekly volume, you can see we got a lot of strong volume. So if we get something like this catalyst next week where Trump and China are able to strike a deal, well, we're going to see even more liquidity come into altcoins as the global M2 has already exploded. So a lot to look forward to. This is in the midst of the fear and greed index sitting at about 71. But again, we still haven't really seen that move for altcoins. And remember, just as much as fear and greed index can hang around the fear, it can also hang around the greed. So don't let that be the end and be all when you make a decision whether you want to DCA or buy the dip. Kind of like go across the market, whether that be sentiment, whether that be TA, or whatever strategies or indicators you use to make that decision here. Definitely taking a look at the crypto ETFs. You can see we are starting to get a little bit more inflow, specifically in Bitcoin and even Ethereum. So Ethereum really is starting to gain strength, and this is really going to help these altcoins because a lot of our favorite coins are ERC20 tokens. So you probably did see the title. I want to get into some Jasmy TA, but I also want you guys to focus that we are starting to see a little bit of a change in trend over the interest of cryptocurrency, right? So you can see that that interest of cryptocurrency looks to have bottomed out here at our support. And as the prices of cryptocurrencies go up, it's going to bring in more retail, more liquidity, and specifically more interest and hype, which of course is going to bring more liquidity and things of that sort. So a lot to look forward to next week, especially if we do get a deal from US and China. We talked about the de-escalation news being a catalyst. We also talked about the potential of 4 rate cuts. So now when the market is starting to price in all the rate cuts, because if the Fed, this is the thing, if the Fed is consistently saying, hey, we're going to do 3 or 4 rate cuts, and you can clearly see that we're running out of time here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. If we're going to do 4 rate cuts starting in July and June here, it's saying we get a 17% chance of pause. Well, now the market is starting to price in 4 rate cuts. And you don't want to be on the latter end of QE when QE, technically everything is lagging. So when they say, hey, we're doing QE, we're already in QE, right? Many would argue that silent QE is happening as QE is happening across the world. So catalyst after catalyst lining up along with some of the bullish laws that we've seen within the last 3 to 4 months since Trump has been in office. So guys, just taking a look at everything, across the board, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from cryptocurrency. You can also see the TVL here exploding. So many metrics are working in our favor. And just a few weeks ago, or I would say 2-3 weeks ago, we didn't have none of these metrics working in our favor. So it's hard not to be bullish when you're seeing the metrics. Now, let's mix the sentiment, the metrics with a little bit of TA. Taking a look at Jasmy here because I want to specifically focus on Jasmy. Jasmy is looking to reclaim this money noodle, right? So we got the money noodle sitting here at the 50-day EMA, which is resistance. If ETH explodes, I'm pretty confident Jasmy will reclaim this these moving averages. So if you are buying Jasmy now, you're taking a risk anticipating that next week is a bullish week for cryptocurrency. I'm gonna remove this money noodle here and go ahead and throw on my Cutler's RSI, and you can see that we got that stock RSI cross on the Cutlers. We also got a stock we got a RSI cross on the Cutlers. We also got a stock RSI cross. And if I swing over here to the ultimate RSI with Lux Algo, you can see that we're staring down the barrel of an ultimate RSI, which will be cross, which would be extremely bullish for Jasmy. So again, this is, you can pretty much use these indicators in TA with any of your favorite altcoins. It doesn't have to be specifically Jasmy. My portfolio, my two top coins, of course, right now is Tau and Jasmy, right? So those are the things that I have most invested in, specifically Tau and the Tau subnets, right? I want to put a really good video together for you guys on the Tau subnets, but I also want to make sure you guys have an understanding of how the Tau ecosystem works. So I am learning each and every day before I consistently bring content here on detail. I want to make sure that I'm fully embedded and have an understanding of the ecosystem. So guys, if you like that exclusive content that you're starting to see on the Patreon, like and subscribe. Anybody want exclusive content, feel free to join the Patreon or our council. Excuse me. So Jasmy, in my opinion, is going to be as bullish as Ethereum is. We're already starting to see this ultimate RSI cross on Bitcoin, and we're looking at one also here on Ethereum. I want to see if ETH got a Cutler's cross as well. So I'm just going to pull that up, right? ETH has the Cutler's cross with volume coming in. So if ETH can get back above these moving averages here and really turn these moving averages into support, that's going to be very bullish. So we got some bullish indicators on ETH, man. And I'm telling you, a lot of these ERC20 tokens are severely oversold. So it doesn't have to be the ones that I'm specifically talking about, guys. It's okay to go out there and do your research, taking a look at the noodles. You can see here that we're working to get this back in the green, reclaim the money noodle, turn the money, flip the money noodle back into support. Right now it is resistance. So you can see the similarities here between Ethereum and also Jasmy. And taking a look at our script here, we're going to pull up our special RSI script to see where we're at. You can see we got that stock RSI cross with momentum and volume. So next week we'll see if we can sustain this volume. But guys, things are looking good for crypto. Next week look like it could possibly be a continuation of what we've seen this week. But let me know what you think about the current cryptocurrency market, and specifically Jasmy. For any Jasmy holders, I would be looking at a breakout from ETH. If ETH breaks out, it's a 70% chance Jasmy will break out too. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.